Hello and welcome to Everything Python. This is the first video in a series I'm calling Getting Better at Debugging. But first of all, how do you get better at anything? By practice, right? By trying to find new situations in the domain you're trying to get better at and constantly improving your skills there by learning new angles, ways of looking at the problem, and trying to find solutions that might either be simple or nuanced. The nuanced solutions will present themselves over time, not to worry. But what you need primarily for or to practice debugging is bugs, right? And one of the largest playgrounds of bugs that is available to us, or bugs is what we would call them, but issues is what they call them, is GitHub, right? So right now I've opened up GitHub, and this is the repository, the account for everything Python. We're going to look up a library that I am very fond of, and something that I've already made a video on, pandas profiling. Right, pandas profiling is is a library that has been used a lot in the data science world. And if you would like to see a video of its installation, I'll put a link to it in the description. Anyway, here if you see in pandas profiling, we are on the develop branch, and there are around 109 issues right now. So it's a lot of issues that people have had over time, in maybe in installation or in execution or something, right? We will see what it is. But one thing is for sure, that each of these issues presents a use case in which someone has tried out something and they have failed at it, and it is an opportunity for us to help fix it, right? And you're assured that all of this is in Python because this entire project is in Python, right? If you look at the languages here, it will be primarily Python, some amount of HTML, Jupyter Notebook, other few languages, right? So you've identified a project that is in Python because that is your language of interest, and then you look at the issues that you can help solve. In this video, we're going to take an example of one issue slash bug and try to see how we can get to the bottom of the problem. I've already solved it, but we'll assume this is the first time we're looking at it, and we'll see how we can fix it. For example, this bug report, someone says cannot import name escape from Jinja 2 utils, right? So if you look at it at face value, right, it looks like a lot of uh, um, code that you'll have to fathom. But one thing you have to understand is every error is endowed with a traceback. Okay, the traceback, if you can get, it will tell you exactly where the error is, and then it's a simple matter of finding out why the error occurred, right? So first of all, if you look at this here, the problem, he says cannot import name escape from Jinja 2 utils. What does that mean? First of all, it means that there is a reference to the package or to a definition or to a variable called escape, and it is trying to be imported from or trying to be used from the utils package in utils file in Jinja 2 package, and it's, for some reason it's not available. Okay, so if you look at this, the problem says cannot import escape, and expected behavior is HTML report should be populated, any data set. Now some errors are better documented, some errors are not. Ultimately everything boils down to the traceback, and that is what we are looking for here, and that's what we have. So why isn't this escape being found in Jinja 2 utils? We'll have to look at the Jinja 2 utils package first of all. Okay, and let's go to it. Where is the Jinja 2 utils package? Where is the web file? Where is the Jinja 2 package first of all? Right, so Jinja, if you look at it, it says it is in the palettes project. So it is understandable that it's probably in the palettes project in GitHub as well. Okay, you can go one step further and just type in GitHub to find out the code base of where you would find Jinja 2. And if you see, you found it within the palettes organization, right? So now what we want to look at is the escape definition or the variable present in the utils file in Jinja 2 or not, right? So where is utils? Utils will be within the Jinja 2 source code. and within this you have something called utils.py as expected, and you're looking for escape, right? So escape, there are 18 references to the term escape. Many of these are just within a docutils, or it is being called from some other function, right? So if you see, markup save is a file, and within that escape is being referenced from, right? But there is no escape within the utils file at all, which means that it has probably been deprecated, right? So in this version of the code, for this file utils.py, escape is not an entity at all, right? So could it have been there in a previous version? Let's look at the different versions over time. You can find that in the tags section of GitHub. So if you see, 3.1.2 is the latest version, and within that we still don't have escape because there are only 18 references to escape and it's not there, right? And let's go back one level further. Maybe it will be there in 3.1.1, but it is less likely that it will be in any of the minor versions, right? So if you see, the number of references to escape are still 18, right? There has been no change. It would be understandable that if there was an additional reference, then the number of times escape occurred would be more than 18, right? Stands to reason that that would be the case. So let's go back a little bit further, right? Let's go to 3.0.0, for example, and see if it is there over there. Now the number of references have increased to 22, right? So let's see if it is there in this file, in this version of the file. Select auto escape, not what we're looking for, and bingo, right? So we have found def escape, and this is what it was trying to reference, right? This version of pandas profiling was trying to reference this particular escape definition within Jinja 2 utils, right? But it's there only in 3.0.0. Is it there in anything later than that? Is it there in 3.0.2, for example? It is, right? So it is there in 3.0.2 as well. What is the last tag which had this particular version, right? It was not there in 3.1.0. It's there in 3.0.3, right? Just to double check, is it there in 3.1.0? So as of 3.1.0, this has probably been shifted away. It has been shifted to markup safe, the library markup safe. That's where it is present, right? So it'll be there in that, right? So where is markup safe? Import markup safe. Import markup safe is a separate library by itself. Markup safe. Let's look it up. Yep, it's also a library. It's also a package within the palettes organization, right? So if we wanted to use escape, we would have to install markup safe instead of trying to access it from utils within Jinja 2. That is the problem that we have identified now. So how do we solve it, right? So we can do one of two things. One is we can ask them to reduce the version of Jinja 2 to a version that still supports utils, or you can ask the creator of this bug to increase the version of pandas profiling that supports this particular change from accessing it from markup safe, right? So I've already solved this bug from a different account of mine, and what I've suggested is that you're using a lower version of pandas profiling and a higher version of Jinja. So I've asked them to upgrade pandas profiling to a version 3.1.0, higher than 3.1.0, and the refactored version of using escape will be picked up. So just to verify that, in the latest version of pandas profiling, if you look at wherever this file was present, right? Wherever this issue was present, where was this issue present? Within the formatters.py file in report in pandas profiling. Okay, so you go to pandas profiling, you go to report, and you go to formatters.py. You see, This is where it is being referenced from instead of from the utils package, utils file in Jinja 2. Right? So that is how you would diagnose and fix an issue. Right? That's how you would diagnose and present a solution to an issue. That's the end of this first example of how to get better at debugging. We'll have more in the coming videos. Thank you and have a nice day. If you found this video useful, please consider subscribing and liking it, and leave a comment if you found it useful as well. Thank you.